Miles Perry. I'm here at the Super Command Center here with Jamin Dawson. We have a great show for you guys. We have Heritage Hall head football coach Brett Bogert coming on today. We also have Norman North star quarterback, 4-star quarterback actually. Excuse me, Nash would be mad if I didn't give him the 4 stars there. He's coming on. Nash Henry. We also have Nate Roberts, Ohio State tight end. He's coming on. Former Washington. He's coming on as well today on Superb Radio. But Jamin, before we get going, how are you?
Well, I'm doing great. Great to be back here. Trying to stay inside. It's been hot this week.
It has been hot this week. It's been the hundreds. Today was at 94 today. It wasn't too hot, so it wasn't too bad. It was kind of nice. But how's your week been though? Besides the heat, it's been good.
Yeah, good. You know how it goes. College student during the summertime, just working.
Yeah, working sports.
That too.
No, yeah. But Oklahoma City have an announcement to make. Oklahoma City Public Schools is currently looking for high school coaches in the following sports: basketball, track, tennis, golf, for all schools. If you're interested to be a high school coach, you can go to Oklahoma City Public Schools Facebook. You can actually go to our Facebook and Instagram at OKC Sports Radio and Superb OK, and you guys can see the link and the article and the schools that are available. It's literally all the schools. They have options you want to choose from, but they are looking for high school coaches, like I said, for track, basketball, baseball, cheer, swimming, esports if you're into video games. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys want to be a high school coach, and want to connect with the youth and the students in Oklahoma City, your opening is there. But like I said, you guys, we have a great show. Heritage Hall head football coach Brett Bogert is about to come on here in just a little bit. Jamin, high school football around the corner. It's here. It's coming. It's about to be the end of July. How do you feel about it?
Man, it's the best time of the year. A lot of question marks for certain teams. You got guys that have graduated. Of course, you got transfers. So just looking forward to what some of these teams are going to be able to do. Of course, the powerhouses are still at the top and trying to bring home that gold ball, but really just see how it all stacks out.
No, it'll be interesting to see who brings home the gold ball. We're talking to one of the greatest high school coaches in the state right now, Brett Bogert, here in a little bit, and he knows something about winning gold balls and whatnot. They're always in the mix in 3A to win a gold ball, but it'll be interesting to see who wins this year. I think we talked to Isaiah Butcher last week, Bigsby. I think Bigsby's locked for 6A1. I think everything else is pretty much open, 6A2, and I think Carl Albert's the favorite to win again 5A, and then 4A. It's kind of 4A is interesting. Tuttle won it, but there's some teams behind Tuttle that I think that can sneak in there. Then 3A, you got Jones moving into 3A, and it is 2A1. So it'll be interesting to see who takes in 3A. I got Heritage Hall, of course, in the mix. But no, it'll be interesting. But I think we're gonna bring in Coach Brett Bogert right now. I know he's here in the studio at Super Command Center waiting to come in. So we'll bring him in now. But no, Jamie, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Bogert has to talk about. I'm interested. I've been knowing Coach Bogert forever. He was my high school coach. I've never had him on the show. That's kind of crazy. I've been doing this for a long time. I never had him on the show. But we're about to bring Brett in here in a second. But now, what do you think? What are you interested in hearing about Heritage Hall football this upcoming season? They got Millwood on their schedule. That's every year they play Millwood. But what do you interested to hear about Heritage Hall?
Really, just to see how they continue to persevere. We both know the history with them and Lincoln Christian in the postseason. So really, just see what their plan is to how to get over that hump. You got senior quarterback Tegan Lawson stepping into the starting spot. So really, just hear about how the team's building around him and how things have been going into fall camp.
No, yeah, but Lincoln Christian is a 2A1 now. They went down. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we have Brett Bogert here.
How we doing?
We're doing good, Coach. How are you?
I'm excellent.
It's good.
Likewise.
It's good to see you, Coach. Coach, how's the summer been for you guys down at the hall?
Today was our last day of Charger Iron, so get about 10 days to sleep in, and then we'll be right back at camp. But
Only 10 days.
Only 10 days. Yeah, OSSA moved the start date to August 3rd, so we get 10 days off, and then it's go time.
Are you happy about the 10 days off, or are you just ready to go?
It's so hot. I am actually need a couple days off. Cool off for a little bit, stay inside, get in the AC, and then we got 2.5 weeks of camp, which is going to be a long one. So I hope the boys are ready.
No, Coach, it is outside, and I don't.
I bet you don't.
I don't miss it at all. I was out there to watch you guys.
Yep.
Do it. It's much easier.
It's easy watching and telling them what to do.
Yeah, than when we did it back in the day.
No doubt.
And but no, Coach, how's the season planning? You went from OC to DC, but you're the head coach.
Yep.
How's that transition been?
It's been fun. I thought I knew a lot about the game of football, and it turns out I just knew a lot about offense. Studying the game from the other side of the ball has been very interesting. I think I have some advantages going in, being an offensive guy and understanding how I would like to attack defenses, and then, trying to switch my brain around and figure out, how to use the defensive guys to stop all the schemes and, all the good teams that we're going to play, and trying to figure out how to get the guys in the right spot. And the biggest difference I've noticed, I get to watch a lot more of the game calling the defense, because I feel like during the week you get all of your work done. You get all your calls to what formations and what plays you expect. In offense, I feel like you have your head buried in the play sheet. You're ready, trying to plan for the next call. So I really enjoyed last year. I was like, man, I've watched a lot more Heritage Hall football than I have in about 20 years. So I've really enjoyed it, and having my dad, be back in full OC mode is really fun to watch as well.
And how is that coaching with Coach Andy Bogert? Have you been doing it for a long time? But what is that like, coaching with your dad?
Coaching with him is probably more fun than playing for him. He was as hard as he was on some of you guys. He was hard on me, as I'm sure you guys can imagine. But it's awesome to get to coach with him. He's the best coach I've ever seen or ever been around, and getting to learn from him. From when I was a little kid to a middle schooler to a high school player, playing for him, and then coaching with him for now. This will be our 20th or 21st year coaching together. You can't beat it. You know what it's like, doing stuff with your dad. It's awesome to get to see him every day, and I don't take that for granted. I know we're lucky to get to do stuff like that, so it's fun.
You've been around this winning culture for such a long time. Just talk about what goes into building that foundation and maintaining it.
Yeah, we're definitely lucky to get involved in that. The last losing season that we had at Heritage was my freshman year, so I was a player on the losing team. So that wasn't very fun. Fortunate enough, we've had, so many good players, and really the continuity of the staff. My dad's been there for, I don't even know. I think he got there in 98. So whatever the math is on that, that's how long he's been at Heritage. Coach Ted Perry came in 2010. Coach Ryan Johnson came in 2010, who stepped away this year. But Coach Kyle Gillum came in 2006 with me. Coach Mark Adams was our defensive coordinator for 20-plus years. So I think the continuity of staff and just the way we are able to, we know each other so well, we can get after each other when we need to, but we know it's fun, and we know the kids are the most important part, and you can't be good without good players. There's no doubt about that. We've had a lot of really good football players come through over the last couple decades, and like I said, we try not to take it for granted. Especially those COVID years that when you guys were playing, those were some weird times, and I think if anything that just refreshed my perspective of how lucky we are to get to do that kind of stuff and have the success that we've had, and get a ton of support from Chris Gefeller, who's our AD, who I think is the best in the biz, and get tons of support from the president, Aaron Fetro, and just the community supports us. We got a lot of people that big expectations every year, and they try to meet them, and it's fun to do.
Coach, you said earlier scheming and planning for teams. You're on the defensive side now. You guys have Jones moving into 3A.
Yep.
What does that look like for 3A? You guys have been in 3A forever now, but how's that look from your perspective?
So I'm actually excited. So when I played, we were 2A, and so Jones was in our district a lot. And so we kind of had a little rivalry with them. That was back when they were running the Wishbone with the McLean brothers, who were absolute dudes. They got the best of us a few times, but we got them once too. So it's fun to have that kind of back. Obviously, they have a whole new coaching staff and a lot of new players. So, I watched some film on them last year, but from what I understand, it's going to be a completely new scheme. But I love it. I think 3A is absolutely loaded. They came up, Marlowe came up, Metro came up, Sulphur stayed, we stayed, obviously. I think there's going to be a lot of really good teams. I think it's really deep, and I'm really excited to get it going.
No, and as a former Charger, I gotta ask because Lincoln Christian, we don't like hearing that. But they moved. Were you surprised when they moved down to 2A1?
No, I knew there was a chance because I think we have about 70 more students than them overall. So I knew there was a chance, but it's still bizarre. I mean, Washington and those teams can deal with them for a few years, but like our boys, they're very excited. We at least get to play them week 1, so we want to try to get them a lick at least once before they move on to their 2A schedule.
No, and me and Maurice Prince, the voice of the Millville Falcons, we were talking earlier today, and we were looking at the 2A and Jones going up, and we were like, why doesn't Washington go up to 3A? That'd be very. I wonder what you think of that. If Washington go, I think that'd be very intriguing. Washington moving up a class if they wanted to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They'd fit in. They'd fit in great. I think. I mean, they play the right brand of football. They're very similar to a lot of teams that are always there, and I mean they're always there. Their coach does a great job. They play physical football. I have no doubt that they would compete in there, but I don't know, for whatever reason. I guess they just have a couple too few students to get bumped up.
Talk about brands of football, Coach. What kind of brand of football do you want to put out to viewers, and what do you want people to see when they see your team take the field week 1?
I want our guys to be relentless. I want, after every game, I want them to say, your guys play hard and play the right way. And I feel like for the most part we do. Sometimes you can't be your best every single week, but at least I feel like we do a good job of that. I think, with the private school moniker, everyone, private school kids are soft and all that kind of stuff. And I think our kids kind of take that as a little bit of extra motivation, because we have some very, very strong, very, hard-nosed kids who love hitting people, who love playing a physical brand of football. And that's what we try to bring. And we're really excited about this group because we got a lot of linemen back, a lot of offensive and defensive linemen back that, they're kind of the core of our squad. I mean, we have a ton of good athletes as well, but they're big, physical, mean. They set the tone in the weight room and in the conditioning stuff. So pretty excited about that. But we want to play a hard-nosed brand of football, on both sides of the football. You got to be able to run it to win it. And you got to be able to stop the run to win it, especially in 3A. And that's why Lincoln's gotten the best of us the last few years. We just couldn't stop their run. And Sulphur will be really good at that. Jones will be really good at that. Marlowe will be really good at that. So that's the brand of football we're going to have to bring if we want to have a chance to go where we want to go.
And Coach, you're talking about the private school moniker and all that, but you built one of the premier programs, regardless of private school, class, football in general, and athletics. So how does it feel to be an example, actually, in Oklahoma football? Because Harry Charles is an example as an athletic program, and as a football program. How does it feel to be a part of that?
It's awesome. I think I probably don't think about it enough just while we're in it. After the season and kind of when you're away from it, you think a little bit more about, we have it very well. There's no doubt about it. Like I said, our school supports us. Our community supports us. Our parents support. We put a lot on it, and our parents support it, and the kids will buy into it. And it's tough to do. And like I said, all those things that went into it to sustain the success. But it's cool to. I don't think about it a ton because I'm always thinking about the next season, and I hate losing the last one. So when you lose the last one, it seems like off season goes a lot longer, and trying to figure out ways to win it. And so I don't think about it a ton, but it is nice to occasionally look back and appreciate the opportunities that we have.
And I also want to say this because we talk about private schools, but Bishop McGinnis has always been a premier football program here in Oklahoma City too. And I always tease you about this off record, off air. But is there any chance we can get that game happen?
Hey, I'd love for it to happen. We're playing 7A, the defending 7A Arkansas State champs in our first game at Shiloh Christian. We'll play really anybody as long as we don't think it's a health risk. We might not be going up to Bixby or anything like that. I think that might become a health concern at some point with how many guys they have. But yeah, I'd love to have that. You could maybe host it at Taft or the new stadium they're putting on the river. Do a big fundraising event. I think it'd be awesome.
Bring Polo Bowl back.
Or Polo Bowl. Seriously, these games. What I'm trying to let people know, these games don't actually count against your record. If you go 0-3, you can still go 7-0 in district, and you can go win a state championship. So I think it's great for the community. It'd be great football. It'd be exciting. I mean, there'd be a lot of excitement around the community. So, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. So, hopefully we can get something like that going at some
Now
point.
with Cassie come back in the OSSA in the last couple of years, have there been talks about bringing pole? I mean, it's happened on the basketball court.
Yeah.
But has it been talks about happening on the football field?
It has. Coach Gefeller has definitely brought it up. Especially losing Clinton. We lost Clinton, who we'd played for a long time in our non-district. We've talked about it. I think it'll happen eventually, but I think they're wanting maybe a year or two more to get used to the OSSAA. And I know they got a new coach in Coach Cooper, who was a heck of a player at Mustang and at OSU. So it sounds like they're going in the right direction, and I want them to succeed. I'd love for that game to come back, because growing up, to me, I mean, that was our biggest game. I mean, there's 3,000 people there, which is a ton for a 2A, 3A level high school game. It was always awesome. Everybody talked about it all summer. So to me, the Polo Bowl needs to come back, and hopefully it does at some point soon.
Yeah, for people that don't know that's listening, Polo Bowl was Cassie versus Hershon, and he's right. There is about 3,000 people there every time. The game was always packed when I was a little kid.
Oh, yeah.
It was fun. Yeah. And it was fun. I remember Sterling and Bear were playing in it. That's when it was really super packed, because we had to park out at the lower school and walk all the way up to the.
I mean, back-to-back years, they kicked it to Barry on the opening kickoff, and he returned it for a touchdown, and then they kicked it to Sterling the next year, and he returned it for a touchdown. So, and I don't think we played him. I think we played him a couple more times after that, and then it was a wrap. But it needs to come back. You're right.
Yeah, and those rivalries, like we were talking about months ago, the only old school rivalries we still have is Soul Bowl and everything, the Edlem rivalries. But besides that, there's not that many big rivalries in Oklahoma City, like how Bigsby and all of them, they play at Tulsa every Jinx every year, but get kicked off the season. So I think that'll be very hope.
I do too.
So, Coach, you've had an extensive career in this game. So how has your philosophy changed at all, just with the changes of the game and how the players evolve as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely changed a lot, because when I started coaching in 2006, it was still, people were teaching you to hit with your 2 screws of your helmet, and the helmet and the head was still a very, very big part of the game, which I think, early on when they made the changes, all the traditional old school football people like, this isn't even football anymore. And once you look back, they were the right decisions. I mean, the game is so much safer than it used to be. I think it's better now. I think we get a different type of athlete that we might not have gotten back in the day. I mean, I was the first to admit I don't want to get hit in the head going across the middle. I mean, nobody does. So I think the rule changes were good, and it's made the game better and safer for sure. So I've definitely changed my philosophy. I mean, it evolves probably every year, because that's what's interesting. I mean, every kid is different to coach. I mean, one of my best quarterbacks we've ever had, Connor McGinnis. I told him the other day it took me 3.5 full years to figure out how to coach him, and he was one of the best we've ever had. And then you get some guys like Andy Bass, and he wants to be coached hard. Like, he's upset if you're not coaching him hard. So I think that's one thing I've really learned, is that every kid's different, and especially every couple of years, you can see a little bit of a generational change in how you got to coach them, how you got to keep their attention. Obviously, with all the new technology, it's a lot easier. You don't have to have a 45-minute meeting. You can have a 10-minute meeting, and they're on their Huddle app or Just Play app, and you can get a lot of stuff done a lot quicker that is more tailored to them. Because I mean, I'm with it too. I mean, we're all here. We're all on our phones every day. Our attention spans have gotten shorter, and as a kid, they're born with them in their hand now. So their attention spans are a lot different than they used to be. So really tailoring it, trying to tailor everything like to the group we have, especially. And that's one thing I've definitely learned philosophy-wise. Be willing to change, because the kids are going to change, the parents are going to change, everything's going to change. So you have to be willing to mold and still keep your core values and core beliefs and all that kind of stuff. But you got to be able to be flexible and kind of meet them where they are.
Coach, what excites you the most about this year's team?
The experience. I mean, we got a lot of guys back. I think we got 4 starters on the O-line back, and 2 guys that missed all of last year who are potential starters back. Got pretty much our whole defensive line back. Obviously lost Rhett and David, who are great, but return all those other guys, including Caleb and Jackson, who are the guys that were injured. So really excited about the depth and experience in our senior class, and the leadership has been awesome. They've had a great summer, holding themselves to a standard, but also bringing the younger guys along. I'm really impressed with our young group. They had a really great summer, but that goes to those guys with experience, treating them the right way. You've probably had different senior classes where you get yellers, and it's like, sometimes that's not it. You got to put your arm around these young guys sometimes and make them understand that they're part of the 60, 65 guys you got. And I mean, football is the ultimate team game, in my opinion, and you need everybody. I mean, because everyone's going to get banged up. You think you have all this depth. It's like, oh, we got 30 scout team guys this year, and then it's like we're begging for scout team guys come October, November. So I'm just excited about the group. Having a quarterback back, which is nice. I don't think we knew the starter going into the season since Andy in 23, I guess. So it's nice to have Tegan, an experienced guy that we know is our QB going in. So that excites me as well. And then, all three of our running backs are back, and Nash Iser, Max Everett, Walker Waddell, they're all back. Porter England is back, who is, I think he's one of the most underrated receivers we've had in a long time, and I think he's going to have a huge year. So really, just the experience. I mean, it's going to be fun. Day one in practice is not going to be, fundamental. We can throw some stuff on them pretty early in practice and really gear up, because we better be ready come August 28th at Shiloh, because they are a good football team.
And that's cool to hear you talk about the depth of you guys have, because I feel like the last couple of years when I've come around practice, come around just hanging out, you guys always talk about, man, I miss the depth we've always used to have. Like, I mean, when I was there, it was just everybody was just been there forever, and you have that again. So it's some familiarity. So this year, I think you're expecting to see this whole different trend, right? Is what it sounds like.
I think so. I think so. They're very very ready, very goal oriented. A lot of people will do the cliche stuff. It's like, just got to take every game one game at a time. It's like, no, they're ready to play Shiloh and they're ready to play Lincoln, and I am too. I mean, win or lose, we want to win every one of those games, but win or lose, I'm really excited for those two football games, and then the bye will come at the right time, and then we go right to Millwood. So there's just really no rest in our non-district, and we're definitely gonna know what kind of football team we are after week 3. So it's gonna be a fast start, but really exciting.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Superb Radio. I'm Miles Perry, Jamin Dawson, and Coach Brett Bogert of Heritage Hall, the head football coach. We're going to go to break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back to Superb Radio. I'm Miles Perry. I'm here with Jamin Dawson. I'm also here with Brett Bogert, the head coach of Heritage Hall football team. Coach Bogert, we were just talking a little bit off air about all this new rules and stuff and regulations of high school sports. Back in your day, wasn't kids transferring, jumping ship, and following their friend or teammate? But do you feel like I've asked a lot of coaches this, but do you feel like college sports have kind of influenced that a little bit?
I think definitely. I mean, yeah, the whole transfer portal and the non-sitting out stuff. I think it definitely trickles down. I think there's some good things and some bad things, and like we were talking off air, it's just make it consistent is all I can say. We want the best opportunities for the kids, and but yeah, I think you're spot on. I think everything trickles down from college. Like, well, he's getting to do this, why can't we do this? And especially when parents want to get attorneys involved and try to threaten the association and all kinds of stuff. It's interesting, and it's hard for them to put up a fight in certain scenarios. But I think it's just something that you got to get used to. It's going to be part of the game. It's either get on board or get left behind. I mean, that's kind of the way I look at it. which ironically we don't have a ton of move-ins or move-outs, which has been good on both sides. You know, for the longest time it's always private schools, they recruit, and it's like, man, I don't have enough time to recruit. And I go, if I'm recruiting, I go, don't do a very good job, because we're always starting some former fullback that's 180 pounds at right guard. So that's kind of my thing about that. But like we were talking on air, you want the kids to have the best opportunity that they can. And my biggest stink, I guess I would say, is let's make it consistent. You know, one kid gets granted, one kid doesn't. Like, you know, and there's not obvious reasons why. I just think more consistency and more enforcement of the rules that are in place, I think would help a lot.
And it's funny you say that, because I feel like a lot of people think private schools do have kids transfer in. Quite frankly, which they don't. It's probably one every blue moon. But with this new transfer portal, do you think the perception is a lot of kids are going to private school more now, or is this wherever I can go play and follow a coach I know that I can trust and go play for?
Honestly, originally I thought it kind of seemed like people were like, oh, well, everyone's just going to go to the private schools. Everyone's just going to go to the private schools. And I think the way it's panned out is it's kind of gone opposite. You know, you get a lot of schools, I'm not naming any names or anything, but you know, you see it every day on your all's website or your all's Instagram or Twitter. You know, if this kid's going to this school, this kid's going to this school, this kid's going to this school. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting, but it's just part of the game, like I was saying. So.
And Coach Mike Billingsley of Millwood, he said last week, he goes, it's either you get with it or you get left. Kind of like in the business sense of you've seen these colleges getting GMs now and to organize their rosters and whatnot. So, and you said it too. So I thought that was interesting, because I do think people have to adapt, you know, in this age of high school sports. So.
No, for sure. Ironically, I feel like we've probably gotten less grief in the era of the free transfers and stuff, because people are actually seeing where people are transferring to, because nobody has to hide it or anything like that now. And so it's like, I feel like people, or the NIL thing, like people are getting on Bixby or Mustang or Yukon because they all have the GMs. It's like, and now they're not giving us grief. I'm just sitting here kind of enjoying it.
Well, I'm laughing right now, really hard right now. It's because we talk about this so much off air. Like, man, we hear Bixby got a G. Like, and the fact it really is true. But it's like, it's just funny to hear another high school coach be like, yeah, you know, Bixby and them, they got GMs.
The fact of the matter, people don't like Bixby. They win. I mean, they win every year, and they are a machine. I mean, I have so much respect for Coach Montgomery. I've gone up there and watched them kind of operate, and holy smokes, like a college needs to figure out a way to get their staff, because they're unbelievable. That's why they win. I mean, it helps. You know, you don't just start winning from the get-go. They built that program, and now obviously people want to go there because they have unbelievable facilities, obviously the NIL stuff, and you're going to have a chance to play for gold ball every year.
I'm going to say this is the last thing on this topic. I'm going to say on this topic. I know Jay and Price something to say on this topic. We talk about it off air a lot, and I'm going to start saying a lot of stuff I say off air, a little bit on air, sprinkle it in. But we said in order to get kids now in high school sports, and I hate to say this, is if we're talking about NIL, if you don't have what they want, you can't offer them resources in that regard. They're not going to come to you. Which is kind of crazy to say. Like last week I said, some high school schools are getting controlled by players. Sure. In a way,
yep.
and in essence, like how, you know, you might get in the chokehold if David Stone said, I'm getting the pull right now, I want $5 million. You know, like, oh crap, we gotta get $5 million together. You know, but I just think it's crazy. That's really, and I don't think it's bad, but it's like there's need to be more regulation on the kids getting paid in high school and college. So because kids are getting paid in high school, so I mean. Yeah, Jay, what do you got to add?
I mean, they're really just kind of getting prepared for what's to come, because all of them want to play college football. So with these rules now, they just kind of want to get whatever they can from the situation. But as far as having a winning program, you have to buy into the program and want to be there for what it is, not for what it could provide for you off the field.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Completely agree. It's wild times, but I think going back to your point about things trickling down from college, I think if college figures out a good way to kind of get a hold on it, hopefully that'll trickle down as well. But again, like you said, I don't blame these kids. If I was 16 years old and somebody's offering me money to go play basketball, football somewhere, it's hard to sit here and say that I'd say no. You know, so I think just figuring out a way to regulate it a little better, I think, would be the best part. But like you said, it's here, and I don't think it's leaving. So
and it's not leaving. And you like you said, you see it on our website. I'm not saying we're doing a bad thing, but we are help influencing it.
you're doing your job.
Yeah, we're doing our job. We are help influencing it, and kids do want to get posted when they get transferred. They want that notoriety. They want that clout, as what they call it. They want that publicity. But Coach, I also want to ask you when it comes to social media and the new age of coaching, because it's changed since you first started in the last 11 years, going on 11 years. How do you deal with your players and how they handle social media? You know, with all the, because you know how we've heard of OU Barstool. You know, the high schools have Barstools. So how do you deal?
That's what calls about the most. Like, who is in charge of the Air Control Barstool? I'm like, I have no idea. It's a kid. I have no clue. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm done with the. I just was listening. I was start laughing because that was funny. No, because it's funny. We get tagged in some of the Barstool posts, and I don't touch them because it's some crazy AI generated stuff.
That's good. That's smart.
So I was wondering, how do you deal with your not the Barstool stuff, but this in general, like kids, social media, being focused. No narratives in the locker room, because you guys are a targeted program. Social media, people want to beat you guys, and as I remember, when we lose, it's a parade and someone else's city. So but
no, that's a good question. I think I'm finally aging out because Snapchat wasn't really a thing when I was younger. TikTok definitely wasn't a thing. So, Twitter and Facebook and Instagram were kind of the stuff that I dealt with, and it was all, outward-facing stuff. So it's, don't say anything that, you wouldn't say in front of your grandma or, stuff like that. Just be smart, because the fact of the matter is college recruiters are looking at that stuff. And that's, especially to our kids who, have aspirations of playing the next level. It's like, don't have one tweet or one TikTok or one thing cost you an opportunity. If somebody sees it and they don't like it, or somebody sees you retweeted something that they don't like, that might get you off the board. So that's always my thing that for kids. It's like there's thousands of kids that across the country that want an opportunity to play in college. Don't give the coach a reason to kick you off, kick you off his list automatically. And I feel like X or Twitter or whatever it's called now is not as, I feel like it's not as prominent as it was. Obviously for recruiting, it's still big. And I feel like most of our kids use it strictly as a recruiting tool. So they're not really out there making a bunch of dumb posts or silly things. But then again, I don't know what the heck they're doing on Snapchat or TikTok. So hopefully they're behaving on that. I might have to come ask you guys to make sure they're not posting anything dumb on that front. Bobby, you might have to be my insider on that.
All the guys I'm cool with. I'm not a snitch.
Nope.
I'm not the Fed. I'm not telling Coach Bogert what you guys are doing TikTok and with your friends. But you're right, Coach. I feel like I see more kids use Twitter X as a platform to promote their stats, highlights. Yep. And you're seeing more of on Instagram too.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I just want to ask the narrative because I see a lot of kids they'll tweet it before a game about who they're playing and whatnot, or take it to social media before the game. I was because you guys were a strict pro. I know you got when it comes to stuff like that. So I just wanted to ask that. Jamie, you want to add anything on that?
Yeah, just to add, like, what are you looking for in some of your players, like leadership qualities? What do you want them to exemplify on and off the field?
Yeah, this I will be cliche because cliches do work for a reason, and we want them to be great with their family. That's an important thing. Treat your mom and dad with respect, because understand that they're making some sort of sacrifice to get you to where you are, whatever school you're at, especially at Heritage. They're whether they're making a financial sacrifice or some sort of sacrifice, they're doing that to make sure you get a good education and get to participate in good athletic programs and whatnot. So it starts in the household. Appreciate your mom and dad, your siblings, all that stuff, all the people who got you where you are, and then when you come into our program, it's you have to behave in the schoolhouse. I'm sure Miles remembers Coach RJ. Coach RJ was on the list, the grade list, every single week, hitting up anybody that was low on the grades. We're fortunate enough to have he's back coaching now, Coach Chard. He coached with me for a few years. Then he got the dean of students in the high school. Now he's back coaching. So it's great to have him as an ally in the upper school as well. So if kids are acting up, not quite to the area of trouble yet, he'll give me a heads up. Hey, put your arm around Miles. Make sure he's behaving at school. No, I never had to do that, FYI. Just the example. So having good allies over there helps a lot, but they have to take care of their stuff over there, and they have to behave over there because, like you said, we're in a fortunate situation that people do know who Heritage Hall is, and if you're in the school acting a fool or out and acting like an idiot in public, people know that stuff. So try to remind them that they're representing something bigger than themselves, and for the most part, we've done a pretty good job of that. There's always exceptions to that rule, but that's the most important thing. And then really, in a time like we were talking about, where selfishness is part of it. I mean, getting yourself recruited, all that kind of stuff, getting to a place where you can have playing time. You can build in selflessness and understand that playing, especially a team sport, like it's way bigger than you. And if they can embrace that, it's going to be far more meaningful, down the road when you're 40 like me, than it is maybe right now to you. And I think you'll have better memories if you play selfless and really are, cheering for the guy. You're just excited for, Miles. I remember Miles scoring a touchdown. I was so jacked for that. I remember that we hit you on that wheel down the sideline. But to me, it's like, and that's kind of my MO. I get excited. I'm very excitable if you haven't watched me coach. So I love other people's success, and I want our kids to want that as well. And I feel like when you're around more successful people's success will come to you as well.
Coach, you talk about Coach RJ, played for Heritage Hall as well. You have a lot of former Chargers or people that's been around Heritage Hall for a long time, a part of the program. How do you guys as a whole help keep that image and that what you guys grew up playing for Heritage Football in the facility and the atmosphere there? Like, because I feel it still. I feel that camaraderie from 15, 20 years ago, and I felt it on our team. How do you guys keep that going till today?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. Yeah, I mean, all the the guys coming back, and I played there. Like you said, Coach RJ played there, Coach Gillen played there, Coach Perry played there, Coach Adams played there way before our time, but he actually did play there. Who else? Blake Adams is coached with us. Dawson Evans is coached with us. I got Chase Holland back. He's coming to coach with us this year. He played with Wes and them back in the day, so it's great having him. Coach Chard, he played at Heritage. So I feel like obviously every single year is a new team, but you have 3 grades that were still part of it, and honestly, it just feels like a giant kind of extension. Because like you said, I mean, our facilities haven't changed that much in a few years, and I walk in that film room and it still doesn't feel that much different than it did, 15 years ago when we were doing it. It is nice. It has gotten a better projector, better seats, better paint job, all that good stuff. But to your point, I still get that same feeling that I got, as a player or when I was first coaching, and I think that's the special part of it is it hasn't gotten old yet, and I hope it doesn't.
Well, like you said, you played there, and I did my research. You got some records still holding there as well.
Barely.
Just talk about how unique of an opportunity it is to be the leader at the school, and maybe the things you've learned as a player that apply to coaching.
Yeah, it's been really special. I knew I wanted to coach at an early age. I mean, I grew up. My dad was coaching at John Marshall he coached there for 15-ish years. So that's where I grew up. I mean, I grew up in the end zone at Taft Stadium, and I was around football. I was in the coach's office every night after the games with Coach Ellis and my dad and Coach Adams, and I knew from a very early age that I was going to be a football coach. And unfortunately, my career ended in a neck injury, and I went to college and did the frat boy thing for a year, and I missed football way too much. And my dad was like, my dad actually got the head job the year after I graduated. So he was my offensive coordinator. I graduate, he gets the head job. And then, I ended up catching probably half the games my freshman year of college, and he was going into sophomore year, he was like, why don't you just come coach now? And that was 2006. So I took 1 year off of it, and then I was right back in it. But I'd say the stuff I learned as a player, which it was a different time of football. We didn't really have the Coach RJ or the younger coaches that were really encouraging. Lee Welker was the young coach on my staff, and Derek Peak, and they were awesome. I love those guys still to this day, but that was still when it was kind of, everything was hard-nosed. Everything was, zero fun, sir, type stuff. And to me, I felt like it's like, this isn't a college program. We have to realize that. And I know a lot of them want to go play college, but what is the stat? Like 4% of high school athletes play college. So it's a tiny stat. So out of the 65 guys that we have, 60 of them are not going on to play at the next level. So you got to remember that it's not a business for them. It's got to be fun at some point. And to me, I want to have fun. And Bobby and Miles will know this for sure. If you do the work, we're gonna have fun. Like if we trust you guys, like you guys had a great group of leaders. We knew you were gonna get the work done, so we're get the work done, do your stuff, let's have fun. So I think that is a very important thing, and remind the kids that it is just a football game on a Friday night. It's not their whole entire life. You got to relax at some point and take the stress off and look back and enjoy what you're going through, because that's one thing I know, it goes by very fast. And we tell the seniors, we tell the freshmen when they come in, these 4 years are going to fly by. You won't think it your freshman year. And then the seniors, we tell them these 4 months are going to go by in a flash. So try to remember that and keep their feet where they are and really enjoy the time, because like I said, what other time in your world are you going to have 60 teammates doing the same thing? I mean, it doesn't happen anymore unless you're lucky enough to go play in college. But that's, I think, just definitely perspective as I've gotten older, and I've calmed down a little bit. I would say I still reach my peak of excitement and yelling and all that stuff, but it's just not the frequency has gone down quite a bit.
Well, Coach, I want to say this. I know you said it's not a college program, but it is run to a certain degree like a college program. Prepared, as I would talk to Rob and all those guys, you have prepared them for that level, and so has the basketball program here. Charles prepared people for the schedule, how you guys run everything from a standpoint. It feels like college. So I mean, I know it's not. You say it's not, but it feels like we're at a small college. But so I wanted to give you credit there where credit is due. But no, Coach, this is gonna be my last question for you. I know you kind of talk about why you got into coaching. I know Coach Andy was a big reason for that. But what inspires you to inspire kids though?
Man, that's a good question. I think just realizing how lucky I've been getting to do what I've done. I mean, I've, like I said, told the story about played and then took a year off, then right back into it. And I'm just so appreciative of getting to be in that scenario and how it's like I can see just all that it's done for me in my life. And you can ask a fella, we ain't doing it for the money. It's at this level. But no, it's just so much fun to get to see the guys work and get to see them. They come in, especially like a freshman, kind of big eyes. They don't really know what's going on, and you see them go through and grow and understand. Like you can almost see it in a lot of their faces. They're like, "Oh, this is why we're doing that." And then just getting the kids to understand that, and then show passion in something, work hard for something, and show that doing something hard can have great rewards. Even if you win the gold ball or don't win the gold ball, doing something hard together with your best friends, that's one of the most unique things in the world. And getting to play a part and help providing that for a group every single year is pretty special.
Well, Coach, I always say this. I'm gonna pass it to Jamin here. One thing I've always said about Heritage Hall, which is the motto, building champions for life. Well, you've played a big part in that. So
That's
so,
why I love hearing stuff like that.
Yeah, you played a big part in that. From all of us alumni, because we're all alumni, we all say that. So yeah, hey, Jamie, you got a
Coach, I read something that you were a landman. Is that right?
Yeah.
So kind of talk about the family business and kind of how that goes for you, and maybe how that's translated to the football field and what you do in coaching.
Yeah, it's been fun. I've like to say I got the best of both worlds, because my grandfather was an oilman, like to his core. That's what he did. He started an oil company, and he worked. He was in the office until the day that literally he was in the office and he passed away a day later. And he's 80, lived a great life, 86 years old, and really I can't say enough of how appreciative I was of going to the office every day. My grandfather would be in there. I'd get to pick his brain about the oil business and all his experiences. And then at 2:30, me and my dad, we're out the door. We're heading to football practice. But no, it's been great. Obviously, getting to do both is a rare thing, which, Heritage is a special place letting me do that. I'm so appreciative of them for that. But it's interesting. I've definitely learned how to deal with different kinds of people and different different ways. Trying to run some title, you talk to a lot of interesting people of all walks of life, and everyone, and they should. It's their land, it's their property, and they should attach value to it. And so it's showing respect to them, and that's helped, again, my perspective of coaching it as well, and people's time. That's one thing that maybe I wasn't good with some of my assistant coaches, because I know how much I work on football. Like, I'm an addict, so it's like this, and maybe when I was younger, head coach trying to demand maybe too much of guys that are also working another job. But talking to landowners and stuff like that, you get a call, you call them at 5:45 p.m. and like, why are you calling me after hours? And you get some pretty you get some really nice people, but you get some words I can't say on the air. I've been told that a few times. So getting humbled by a sweet old lady like out of nowhere, Oklahoma, that's definitely, you get yelled at by someone like that, you start to realize that things are pretty interesting. And if I can bring some patience and some perspective and understanding to the coaching, I think that helps a lot.
No, well, Coach, I want to thank you for coming on. It's long overdue. You should have been on earlier. You blame Miles for that. But
thank you for having me. You guys are doing a great job. It's fun to watch you guys just keep building this thing up. Keep taking it to the moon.
I appreciate that, Coach. And Coach, good luck this season. And I can't wait for you guys to play Millwall. We'll be at that game. And I'm looking forward to see the season.
Sounds good. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Oklahoma City, we'll be right back. We'll be going to break. We'll be right back. Oklahoma City, welcome back to Super Live. I'm Miles Perry here with Jamin Dawson at the Super Command Center. Nate Roberts, Ohio State tight end, is here and live with us. Nate, we see you. How are you, Nate?
Miles, what's up?
I'm good. I just gotta say, I'm proud of you, right? You're doing big things down there in Columbus. But how are you though?
Man, I appreciate it. It's been good. Just off season's tough, but I'm really enjoying it. About to start up camp, so the team's in its last week of summer workouts, and we're right into it.
Well, Nate, some workouts are a big deal. I see you cut your hair. What made you do that?
Yeah, I think just with my camp coming up, I think that's the last thing I need to worry about. So I think just chopping it off and trying to make it look good as possible. I think that was my plan. So I don't think it looks too bad. So I'm gonna rock with it this season.
Well, Nate, since it's the off season, I'm gonna ask you this and start these questions off like this. What's something you were wanting to improve in this off season? You played a lot this year as a freshman, but what's something you wanted to improve on this off season?
Yeah, I just think obviously gaining weight. I've gained about like 10 or so pounds around that this off season so far. Just going into that bigger role as both the Y and H, trying to be that hybrid type of tight end for the Buckeyes this season. Just trying to get on the field however I can, but just creating that strength at my size and trying to gain as much strength in my lower half and upper half, trying to block both as like an inline tight end, but also run routes as an attacker as well. I think that's my main thing, just gaining speed and as much strength as possible.
All right, well, before we get any further, all of us being from Oklahoma, I have to ask, I saw your top 5, of course. I just want to know why Ohio State?
Yeah, obviously it's hard to say no to a school like Ohio State, just with the rich program that they are and the past success that they've had. I just thought that it was an opportunity that I really couldn't pass up, both for me and my family. And I got family out here, not too far away, about 20 or 30 minutes away. So I felt like this was a place that I could go far away from home, but also still have a little bit of family out here. So it's not like I'm out here on a desert all by myself. So I think it was just a full package, like with the coaching staff, like Keenan Bailey, our tight ends coach. I think he did a great job recruiting me. Obviously, felt great for me and both my family. And when it was time to make the decision, I think it was a pretty easy decision overall. So this is a place I've been, and this is a place I'll be for a while. And I'm glad to be here, and I know I made the right decision for sure.
Nate, what's something that the listeners in Oklahoma City, we're talking to Nate Roberts, former Washington High standout. He's now a tight end at the Ohio State University. Nate, I want to ask you this. What's something you playing as a freshman this year? You played in 13 games. You didn't expect playing in the Big Ten. Was it the physicality? Was it the pace of play? You did a lot. You played special teams too. So what did you not expect this year at Ohio State playing?
Yeah, I think just the overall competition of everything. I think both in games and in practice, obviously, you're going up against the best players every single day, both in the games and practice. Like I'm going up against Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles, and both in like our run game, and then I'm going up against like Caleb Downs in the pass game. So I think just the level of competition of everything and the amount of preparation that you have to have going into these games is so important. But the physicality of the Big Ten is something that I really found out really fast, especially at the position I was playing in the role I was playing in last year. I was kind of like that fullback for the team last year. So, I was putting my face on guys and hitting them pretty hard, but like those dudes are built different. I think the Big Ten guys are some of the best ends in all of college football, but I think just the overall competition of everything, both like in games and in practice, was pretty eye-catching for sure.
You just named 3 guys that recently were drafted in April. So just kind of talk about, maybe was it a moment in practice or in one of the games that just really gave you that confidence that you are where you're supposed to be?
Yeah, as season was rolling last year, I think just as I got more comfortable and felt like I could stand my ground. Obviously, in fall camp, I was still young, but I think as season came around, I started to grow more and more, and I started playing more, so I felt more comfortable. But as season got like deeper and deeper, I just felt like I gained more confidence in blocking those guys, and I think blocking those guys in practice made me more confident versus any other team that we were playing during the games. So I just think overall, the competition on and off of in games and off in practice, I think all that helps out for sure.
Now Ohio State's one of the top programs historically, and also right now in nationally in recruiting and all that. Now, you were at the national championship game when you guys won because you went early. How was experiencing that, watching them win that natty?
Yeah, it was a pretty cool experience for sure. Like being in high school just a couple months ago, and now being speaking in the intense, speaking and being at the national championship just a couple months after beating Millwood in the state championship. That was a pretty cool experience for sure. Not having to do much except travel with the team and watch the team practice and kind of just get to follow with the whole team and get all the free gear and stuff. It was pretty cool for our kid that was supposed to be in high school, but it was a great experience and something that really helped me know what I'm working for here at Ohio State and what the end goal is, and seeing what these guys had to do to get to that end point. So I think it was a great experience. I'm so glad I got to graduate early, but it was a great experience for sure.
And just kind of talk about some of the tight ends that helped you early on, just get a feel for the college level, and even just developing under Coach Bailey.
Yeah, I think going into the room I was in last year with Will Kazmarek and Max Clare, both second and third round picks this past draft. Going into a loaded room like that, some dudes might be scared to compete, but I went face first into the water, and I was just trying to learn from those guys because those guys were seniors and fifth years, so they've been around the game for a while, and that room was so loaded. Just trying to learn as much as a young guy because obviously some young guys don't play as much, so I was just trying to find a role, but learning both inline and more of a pass threat tight end from Max Clare and Will Kazmarek. It was great just sitting back and listening to those guys and watching them do their reps in practice and trying to replicate it as much as I can. But just sitting just trying to be a sponge as much as I can as a freshman, and trying to learn from these older guys. That's kind of been in the game for a little bit longer than I have for sure. But it was a great starting year last year going into that tight end room. But this year we obviously have a bunch of new guys. We got Ohio. We get dude from Ohio, dude from Northwestern, a bunch of older guys. So learning from those guys too, still as a young guy, as a sophomore, just trying to learn as much as I can still, but also help them out now that I've kind of stepped into a more of a leadership role from last year. But overall, I've obviously had 2 good tight end rooms already, and looking forward to put on the field what I've learned so far. So,
Nate, I got 2 questions for you. What is it like? Because you are living what everybody's been talking about the last couple of years with the transfer portal, and you get new teammates every year. It could be next month they can leave or they can stay for the whole season. What is it like with those older guys coming in this, in probably spring or winter time? What was that like experiencing new guys in the room that come in that quick?
Yeah, obviously you want to meet the guys as quick as you can. We had 51 new guys this season, so I think just learning about each other and trying to build that bond of the tight end room as quick as we can and as tight of a bond, because when things get hard, we need that bond, and we just got to be as tight as we can. But those like Mason Williams from Ohio and Hunter Welsing from Northwestern, they were two great guys, and they came in this season in the spring, and very welcoming, and they had a great spring. But I think just competition, I think they were in kind of like the same hybrid position as me, so we're just out there competing, and I think it's just a great competition throughout the whole tight end room, especially with these new guys coming in. So it's nothing. Yeah, like we have no beef. Like it's cool. Like it's just a part of college football now. Like you're gonna have a new like tight end room like every single year, and like you're gonna have new guys coming in and out. So you just gotta live with it, and you gotta adapt for sure.
Shoot, it's happening. It's happening back home here too. Like in college, in high school, they doing the same thing right now. They jumping ship every year, following their coach.
That's something crazy. I've seen that.
No, yeah. My second question is: you talk about being a leader to these new guys. You're a rising sophomore at one of the most prestigious football programs of all time. And what is that like? To being the leader to older guys? I know that's different. I know you're used to being the leader to young guys coming from high school, but how's that to be into guys probably 2-3 years older than you?
Yeah, I think it's been one of the best things that could happen to me, because I've always kind of been less of a vocal leader, more of just a go out and do it type of leader, and just lead by example. So I think this year I've really had to work on my vocal and just be more vocal both on and off the field, like either if it's in weight room workouts or if it's out on the field. But obviously I'm only a sophomore, and some of these guys are definitely older than me, but I think just going out there and giving it my all, and like just trying to lead by example and show these guys that I'm out here and going 100% every day, and just earn that respect from these guys. Well, and like when I try to step into that leader role, there will be more acceptance of me, because I go out there and give it my all, if it's in practice, if it's in the weight room. So it's been a great challenge for me, obviously this off season, but just trying to build upon it still, and going into season for sure.
So Miles, you kind of touched on it, Ohio State being one of the most prestigious programs of all time in college football. It
is.
Nate, tell us about the culture at Ohio State and just what it means to you to be a Buckeye.
I mean, it's definitely one of the most prestigious schools in America. So being on like one of the best teams in college football is something a lot of kids don't get to be a part of. So I'm very grateful and very blessed to be a part of it. But I just think my hard work has definitely paid off, and obviously going to keep that up. But it's tough. It's tough. It's not easy. There's a standard that Coach Day has handed to us, and we have to exceed that standard each day. Like if either in practice or in the weight room, like Coach Mick or our strength and conditioning coach does a great job. We get arrows up or arrows down after each lift. So it's like you have to give it your all each day. Like there's just a standard around the whole facility that you got to go 100% each day. But it's something to be really it's really cool to be a part of, and just being in it now. It's kind of like second nature to me now, just being around like some of the top guys. But it's a great learning experience for me, just trying to learn from the older guys as much as I can. But it's been great, and so blessed to be a part of it.
Nate, I'm gonna change the topic up and make it this conversation a little more fun. We talking about the seriousness of Ohio State and whatnot. So what's your go-to pregame meal? Since they have y'all have a stricter diet, you have you guys have dietitians and all that, and after workout smoothies and post practice smoothies. So what's your pregame meal?
Yeah, so we got the same pregame meal each day, each game. So it's obviously I get my plate, and it's spaghetti, I always eat my spaghetti with red meat sauce, and one piece of bread, then a small salad with either lemonade and water. So that could be at like a 12 o'clock game or a night game. It's just the same thing each game. So you kind of find the same ritual and kind of just roll with it. But same food each day or each game. So kind of got to take what you can get.
You got a pregame song you listen to every game, or is it different? Or artists?
It's kind of just whatever I feel. I think like obviously in the country genre, like Tree Oak or Coetzel, like somewhere in that category. I think that gets me pretty pumped up. So I'm not too much into the rock. Obviously I listen to rock also, but less about the rap, and I just don't got too many good rap songs. So I just keep with what I got.
I got you. Ain't nothing wrong with country. I like
at all.
I listen to country too. I'm a Morgan Wallen guy, so I'm a big Morgan Wallen guy. Who's your favorite country?
I've been on that Luke Combs.
Luke
pretty
Combs,
tough,
I like Luke
bro.
Combs too. I like Luke Combs. Shout out to Luke Combs, Morgan Wallen, Coetzel. James, you got anything else?
Yeah, just tell us about some of the fun moments that you have. Are there some teammates you just naturally gravitate towards, and just talk about some of the good times y'all have in the locker room?
Yeah, I think just the bond that we've had, like these past two teams that I've been a part of, it's just been great. Just learning about new guys and building bonds with dudes all over the world. Because we got dudes from Cali, Florida, Texas, like Ohio. Like you could probably name a state, and we got a guy from them. So it's been really cool and been really exciting just be able to build bonds with dudes that I think will go a very long way, like especially in the tight end room. Like we're really tight, so we go play golf like almost every other day or so, like just little things like that. But I think in the locker room, like we just always have a good bond. And I think before one of our breaks, our Fourth of July break, I think they had we had like a freaking party in the locker room. Like there's videos about it, and like all the dudes in there just like dancing, and it's cool. Like having 51 new guys coming in, we're already building a bond like that so quick. So it's cool. Just I'm just super excited to be a part of it, and cool to meet all these new guys. So yeah.
I want to talk about your schedule a little bit, Nate. You guys played Ohio. You guys played Texas. I'm gonna talk about the games I highlighted because I feel like these are your big games this year. Texas, USC, Oregon, Michigan. What game are you looking forward to most? I think I know the answer to that game. To that question is Michigan probably, but
yeah, for sure.
But talk us through that Texas game because that was a big game last year. And you played in that game as a true freshman. But what are you guys looking forward to this year, going to Austin this year?
Yeah, we're obviously have that circled on our calendar already. I mean, we've been game planning them for probably months now. Like we've got dudes just that's been their main focus for a while, and we watch clips of them and trying to learn their defense as early as we possibly can. Obviously, because that's a huge game for the college football playoff now. Because like if Texas would have beat us last year, I think that would have been their ticket into the college football playoff. So this is such a huge game that a lot of people will be very excited about. But just going down to Austin, night game, it's gonna be rocking, one of the early big games of the season. So probably it's gonna be a big one, and we're just looking forward to it. Obviously, they're a great team, and we're a great team, so it'll be a big matchup. But I think with the preparation that we've had last year and going into this year, and Coach Day's done a great job with us in the OTA season. And with Arthur Smith, our new offensive coordinator, I think our offense is great this season and kind of like an NFL style now. So it's a good switch up, but we're excited to go down to Austin and play Texas for sure.
You got to go to face the defending champs, Indiana Hoosiers in Indiana. Just talk about what you see from them and How excited are you for that matchup?
Yeah, obviously with how it went last year, and we had so many missed opportunities, and in that Big 10 championship game, I think that was a game that kind of stuck with us throughout the rest of the season and into the off season and into summer workouts. Indiana is obviously another circled game for us, and going into their house probably another night game. So we have a lot of primetime matchups, and Indiana is definitely one of those big ones. And they're going to be a very sound and very good defense, and obviously very good offense. So we just got to go in and have a great game plan, and I think we'll definitely take care of business.
Well, Nate, this is going to be my last question for you. What's one thing you feel like you've grown in outside of football, moving away from home and being in Ohio?
Yeah, I just think obviously being out here on my own, learning how to live on my own and paying my own rent and becoming a man now. So it's been great, but I think just preparing mentally and physically, like on and off the field, I think just the mental aspect of everything is just as important as like the physical aspect. So just trying to treat my body as much as I can, like out here, and take advantage of the free time that we have, like getting in the training room and just learning how to like time management all by myself. So I think we have such a good support staff around us. I think they've helped me out being so far away from home, and obviously I felt like all my teammates help out so much, and just being really close with those guys. And in the apartment complex that I live in, like there's other dudes here, so we can just go to each other's apartment if we want to hang out. So it's been great. It sucks moving away from home, but sometimes you got to move away from home to better yourself. And I think moving out here to Ohio has been probably the best thing that's happened to me so far. So yeah, it's been a great time, and looking forward to the future too.
Well, Nate, appreciate you for coming on. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. I was looking forward to this interview, and I'm looking forward to this season. Watch you play that first game against Texas, and hopefully, you might see you guys in the playoffs this year. I hope that happens. But
we almost had it last year, but
we did.
We'll try again this season.
No, well, Nate, good luck this season. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me.
Thank you guys. That was Nate Roberts, tight end at the Ohio State University, former Washington High standout, tight end, defensive end. He played both sides of the ball, but well-spoken kid. He got his head on straight. He got his head on. Jay, what'd you think?
Man, I mean, of course, we got him in a little frame on the screen, so you can't see the big body he is. But he was a beast in high school.
He's about 6'5", but 250. I think what he's listed at right now.
Very solid.
6'5", 240.
And already getting snaps his freshman year. He sounds comfortable, and like you said, he sounds focused. So I'm ready to see what he does this season.
Played in all 13 games, and his snaps went up throughout the season. Like we didn't talk about that, but the snaps went up throughout the whole season, ladies and gentlemen. His role is going to be big this year. He said he's leading the tight end, and these guys are older than him, and they're coming in from other schools. So it's going to be interesting what happens with Nate. That's a story I'm going to follow because Nate will be playing on Sundays. I will say that, but for sure. And I'm looking forward to that. But ladies and gentlemen, Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry. Jamin Dawson's here with me here in the Super Command Center. Norman North, 2028 4-star quarterback Nash Henry will be on next. We'll be back. Oklahoma City. Welcome back to Superb Radio. I'm Miles Perry. I'm here with Jamin Dawson. You guys, we have Nash Henry, Norman North, starting quarterback here with us. Nash, how are you?
No, good. Thank you for having me.
Nash, tell everybody a little about yourself that who doesn't know who you are.
Yes, sir. So I'm a class of 2028. I'm going to be a junior this year. I'm a quarterback at Norman North. I'm glad to be here.
We're glad you're here. How's the offseason going?
It's going really good. Yeah, we're working really hard in the weight room and out in the field.
Well, Nash, this offseason, you picked up a few offers. Baylor, Arkansas, UConn the other day, and Missouri State a few weeks ago. How's that going for you, recruiting?
Yeah, recruitment is obviously a blessing. Thank God every day. I'm really glad where it's at, and I'm excited to continue this process through my junior season.
And it's only gonna go up from here.
Yes, sir.
But when you got your first offer, how'd it feel? Because I know that feeling is amazing, right?
It was great.
great.
Yes, sir. I was really blessed that Coach Ellsworth and the whole staff at Kansas State trusted me and believed in me to be the first. That means a lot. Being the first offer is definitely something I always remember.
Now, growing up, did you have a dream school you want to go to, or you're still growing up now?
Never really had like a dream school, but obviously being in Norman, I watched OU a lot, and then seeing what Lincoln Riley has done with the quarterbacks he had in the past. So always wanting to play for him, but I'm really thankful on where I'm at right now.
Is there anybody that stands out? Like, how have you enjoyed the visits this summer so far?
Yeah, so I took 5 visits this summer. I decided to just pick out a couple schools to go to. I started off with Oklahoma State. It was really nice. Went out there for a little elite camp. Talked with the coaches. They were pretty good. And then I went out to Baylor the following weekend. And that was really nice. I actually picked up an offer while I was down there. So I was able to go down there for a visit, talk with this whole staff, and talk with some of the players. So it was good to do that. And then that next week, I went to Kansas State, visited with them. So they actually offered me in April. So I already had the offer, but I wanted to go out and see them. It was really good. Facilities are one of the best I've seen. And then I went to Arkansas. Arkansas was really nice. Again, facilities are up tier, and then coaches are great there. I really like Coach Silverfield. He was the one that offered me in his office at Arkansas, and then being able to sit in the quarterback meetings with Coach Stewart and the rest of the staff. So it was really blessed for the opportunity to be able to go out to Fayetteville. And then I finished up with TCU. I went down there for elite camp. And then after that, I was able to the coaches were able to show me around the facility.
So, tell us about Norman North and the football program. What's it like playing for Norman North?
Yeah,
It's great. I love it. I love coming in there every single day, being able to be around my friends I grew up with. Starting with the coaches, Coach Jones. I mean, he's a great coach. He really cares and really wants. It's not about right now, but it's about what he sets up for us in the future. Wants us to be great young men and then have a quality life. So really blessed that he's my head coach right now, and I'm really thankful for him. And then with the whole staff, I mean, Coach Fleming, my OC, I'm really thankful for him. He's a great guy to talk to. Coach Moore, my quarterback coach right now, another great guy that I've grown up with, just training with him and stuff. And then just to my players, I mean, every single one of the guys, they come in, they're ready to work. I'm ready to work, so we just have a lot of fun.
Now, tell us about, you said the whole staff. You gave everybody their kudos and credit. But on the offensive side, you guys had a lot of strides this year. You threw for over 3,000 yards. What's some of the building blocks you're trying to continue from last year into this year, your junior year?
Yeah,
Continue to get my teammates better. I feel like that's the most important thing right now. Just being a quarterback, just being able to lead the guys and being someone they can look to every single play, and just continue being a good young man I am.
And tell us a little bit about your offense. You guys losing Mason James, and you guys have other guys stepping up. Who's some other guys stepping up?
Yes, sir. So losing Dan McMorris and Mason James, they're two great pieces to our offense, but we'll obviously saw Ben Kolar and Byron Mason and Aiden Williams, who were performing last year as well. Also Vlad, some receivers. And then we got a transfer from Norman High, Knox Braggs. He's been stepping up this spring. And then Rylan Humphrey will be stepping up this year. Got a transfer from Blanchard, running back, Birdie Sherman. He's playing both sides of the ball, actually. So he's been doing really good, lifting heavy. And then on the O-line, I mean, Jackson Inman being the center from last year, me and him are both in the same class. So we're both going to be juniors. So being able to start together and have that connection, I mean, we really, like every week we're working on snaps, we're working on chemistry and stuff like that. So And then just the whole line, I mean, they're all ready to learn. They're ready to work and compete.
Just tell us about some of the things you've been focusing on and working to improve over this offseason and summer.
Yeah, for myself, just really working on getting good timing with my receivers and tight end. I feel like that's one of the biggest parts, just make sure everyone's on the same page. And then I'd say being able to gain weight. I feel like that was a big part of my game last year. That I was playing at like 185, 190, but now I weighed in the other day at 220. So I gained a lot of good muscle and got a lot faster as well.
Are you on a certain diet to gain more weight too, or is it just lifting and
So
working
I'm
out?
with the supplement company called Top Trainer, and I use their protein powder and their BCAAs. And BCAAs is a like a recovery type deal. So I'm really thankful that I was able to get that partnership with them, and that's been tremendous. And also just eating clean, eating good food, and lifting hard.
Little ad in. He threw an ad in
I did
there.
throw an ad in. Shout out Top Trainer.
I'm not hating.
Yeah.
I'm not hating this new era. And we were just talking about that with Coach Bogert, Brett Bogert, Harry Charles, head football coach, and you guys being able to compensate and do stuff like that. So we think that's great for you guys. And what do you think about that with your new era? You're part of that new generation, and you guys getting paid in high school and college and all this other stuff. How do you feel about that?
It's obviously a blessing to be able to get paid and go do a sport we love and grow up with. But I feel like, it's deserved. We're the ones that go out there on the field and play. So I feel like we should get a cut of some money.
Did you always know you would be to this level, 4-star recruit, going into your junior year?
Yes, sir. I always
Told myself that I can do it. I never put any doubt inside my head. So just being able to continue to work hard every single day and put my head down. I still got a lot to do. I've still got goals to catch, but I'm still chasing every single day and getting better.
And Nash, I want to talk about more about recruiting. What school has stood out to you the most? I know it's early. We were making jokes off air earlier, and you guys were like, no. But what stood out to you the most about recruiting? This your trips and the coaches showing you love, and what campus stood out to you the most? You said you went to TCU, Arkansas. So what stood out to you the most on those trips?
Yeah, definitely Kansas State. Them being first off, I talk to them pretty much every single day. So just building a relationship with Coach Klein and Coach Ojo at Kansas State is huge for me. And then also at Baylor, Coach Holcomb, the quarterback coach, and Coach Spav, their OC, built great relationships with them. And then at Arkansas, Coach Cramsey, the OC, and then Coach Stewart, being the quarterback coach. I talk to them all the time too. So obviously I don't have any top 3 or anything right now, but because it's early in the process, I still got a lot of time. But I'm thankful for where I'm at right now.
And how do you handle all that success you've had this far, all the recruiting attention? Because, it's easy for players your age to get caught up in the hype and what people are saying. But, how do you stay humble and focused?
Glory to God. Without him, I wouldn't be here today. So just being humble and just giving it back up to my teammates as well.
You mentioned some transfers from Blanchard and Norman High. So those have been some big additions for you guys on the football team as a whole. But how do you guys approach transfers? Because there is a high school transfer portal. So you know what I'm talking about. Did you guys as a team? Did you guys go out individually help bring some guys in? Like, hey, bro, you over here, you can fill in here, or was it just naturally they came over?
They wanted to come over. I'm not going to go out of my way and try to recruit someone, but it's great that I was able to build the relationship I was.
Obviously, our coaches, they're not allowed to recruit, and they don't recruit. So I know some schools may recruit kids, but our school does not. So I'm glad that they trusted, especially both of them will be rising seniors. So they trusted that our coaching staff and this team can get them ready for their senior year.
Hey, he said they don't recruit. I like that because we were just talking about that earlier. Jamin,
Some of them have no shame in it at all. But, it's good to hear that there are still some programs with good morals building high character guys.
Yes, sir. And that's just a testament to who our coach is.
Who our coach is, Coach Jones. He could care less who you are. He wants 11 men that want to be out there on the field and want to play hard. He's not going to pay no one or going to start recruiting them to come play for their school.
how would you describe yourself as a leader? Because I can tell right now you are a leader. Your demeanor and how you talk. So how do you describe yourself as a leader?
Just growing up, always been surrounding the same group of guys and being able to lead them. I feel like I got to show by example as well. And I do a pretty good job of that. I'm always the first one there, last one to leave every single morning. We start at 7, I get there at 6:10 every single morning. Just being able to day in and day out just show that I'm capable of being that leader, and I got a lot of trust from the guys too. I always said they don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. So really entering high school, I really just wanted to show everyone that I cared about not only myself, but this team, Norman North, the coaches, everyone there in the program. So being able to show them that, they gained some trust over time, and then now we're here where everyone's 100% trusted and focused in on what we got to do this year.
And teams know what you can do. Watching the film, they'll send 3 or 4, but they're dropping back 7 or 8 all the time. So, like, how do you stay composed in the pocket and just go through your progressions? Is that something you just learned over time?
Yeah, just trusting my work. I put a lot of work to be where I am today. So being able to go back to my fundamentals and trust what I can do. Yeah, a lot of teams sent 3 and they dropped 8 against us. So, but I trusted my receivers. I trust the connection that I have with them. So being able to continue to trust them, that's what's most important with me.
And do you guys throw a lot in the off season with your receivers to build that trust? Or do you guys work out periodically? How do you guys handle all that?
We throw like twice a week. I mean, obviously, just arm care wise, I try not to throw every single day, and I don't throw every single day. But being able to, I mean, I know the receivers get on the jugs every day, which is good. So they're still working on their craft while I'm working on mine. I always go out to California and train with a couple guys. I go down to Dallas to train with people. So just being able, and then recovery is a big thing with me. I mean, I do a lot of recovery. That's why I stay at the facility for so long and make sure I get the right arm care and treatment that's getting done that needed for the season. Because when the season comes, obviously you take a lot of hits, but you got to be able to bounce back up and continue playing.
Just talk about some people that really pour into you and help you develop. Who are those big figures for you?
Both my parents. My dad and my mom every single day. I mean, they love me, they trust me, they believe in me, and that's what I like to hear.
And your dad's here. Is that your best friend? That's dope. My dad's my best friend too, so I can relate to you.
Yes, sir.
To and that. But Nash, I want to talk about what do you like doing off the field? What do you in your free time?
Yeah, I started picking up on piano. Taking some lessons. I'm working at the house, just playing around and stuff. I feel like that's good to be able to, that hand-eye coordination and work on 2 fingers at once. So, and then I like to just hang out with my friends. I mean, we'll go fishing sometimes. I'm not a huge fisherman, but I like to go out there and hang out. We'll come to my house and swim. I used to play basketball, so I still go in the driveway and shoot, especially with my dad. Just hang around the house.
I was gonna ask that if you hoop because you're tall, so I had to ask. So, what made you stop playing basketball?
Yeah, so I played
Way up to my freshman year. So I stopped playing. I felt like a big part of my game was to gain weight. And obviously you can't gain a lot of weight and muscle run up and down the basketball court. So I decided to stop to play, even though both my parents played Division I basketball in college. I decided not to play my sophomore year.
How'd you fall in love with football then? Sounds like you were meant to be a hooper if both your parents played Division I basketball.
I felt like just growing up, I always played in both the sports and just kind of got to the point where when I was a quarterback, just kind of loved it a little bit more, and now here I am. Yes, sir.
Played any other positions on the football field?
I did. Growing up, I was a running back, but by like 4th grade, I moved to quarterback. So I've been a quarterback for a while now. Yes, sir.
So we're gonna see a lot more running this year then? I didn't know you played running back.
No, well, it was a long time ago, but yes, we should see some more running this year.
If you in a perfect world, do you like running the ball as a quarterback, or would you rather just be in the pocket?
I like running. I can run if I need to, but I'd rather see my teammates score the touchdowns. I'd rather pass them the touchdown instead of me running it myself. Yes, sir.
And who do you like to watch? Of course, you don't have to try to mock anybody's game, but who do you like to watch and just pick their game?
I like watching Jordan Love a lot. I've been recently watching his YouTube videos. He's 6'4", 220, same as me. So just being able to relate to him. And then growing up, I was watching Caleb Williams, Justin Fields, but just being able to take like bits and pieces from each of their game. Like C.J. Stroud's someone I look to as well. Just the type of man he is on and off the field. I'm obviously gonna be my own player, but being able to steal some little tips from them is good.
What do you feel like your team's identity is this year? I feel like everybody's team has a different identity every year because you got new freshmen coming in, new leaders stepping up in different roles, new players transferring in this age, right? But what's your identity as right now in summer camp / fall camp?
Yeah, our coach has been telling us ever since December. Our motto for this year is get back. So we just got to get back to that standard Norman North. Just being back who we are. So we got to get back to that.
And and when he means get back, what is the standard he's talking about? I know you get back, but what's the idea of him in his head? You mean get back?
So we got a saying it's written up on the wall right before we walk into the locker room. So be the most disciplined, best conditioned, and most determined team in the state of Oklahoma. So being able to do those three, that's the standard for us in Norman North football. So we got to get back to that.
What are some goals you kind of set for yourself this season?
Obviously, the main goal is to win a state championship, but just get my teammates better. Obviously, being able to lead the state in passing yards again. I mean, that would be nice to do that again. And then use my feet a little bit more and start getting rushing touchdowns, some rushing yards in there as well.
Who you guys looking forward to play this year? Is this, the season? Is anyone you guys circle on your calendar?
I mean, we're really just worried about ourselves. I mean, we just try to go 1-0 every single week. So we're not too worried about who we're playing. If we can play our game, then we'll give the best shot to win. So.
You know what I love about him?
What's that?
He has a pro approach to everything. It's like his mentality is pro.
It really is.
No, yeah, but how you answer your questions is very pro. So and I think that's cool because, a lot of kids, don't get to talk to the media a lot, so they don't know how to talk to the media. So I give you credit there. Where it's due. But no, who gave you that mentality? Is it your dad, your mom?
Yeah, definitely my parents, and I've just been working on it too. I mean, just worried about myself, continue to get better every single day, and being humble about it.
You got any like pregame rituals or anything like that?
No rituals, but I make sure I do my all my arm care stuff. I always do that every single game, but I'm not superstitious or anything. I believe in the ability I got. I'm just got to be ready to go out there and play.
Now we did talk about Bigsby a little bit, and they are the king of Oklahoma football in the last decade. Is there anything you're looking forward to playing Bigsby at Bigsby?
I mean, it'll be a good game. I know they'd be packing out their stadiums as well, so just being able to play in front of a group of people. But again, we're just worried about going 1-0 every single week, and I think we play them week 6 at their place. So by then, we're hoping to be 5-0, ready to play them.
That'd be a great game.
Yes, sir.
Going at 5-0, building momentum, and getting that camaraderie, real season camaraderie.
Yeah.
In the rhythm going. I also want to ask, Norman High versus Norman North. I know you're looking forward to that game. Tell everybody in Oklahoma State that's not familiar with that game, what is the energy like at that game?
Yeah, it's definitely packed. I mean, it's always the first game of the year for both teams. This year will be week 0 game, August 28th, at Norman High. So last year, played at our stadium, home opener for us, and there's 18,000 people there in the stands. So it was definitely packed, and we definitely got to get back to town. I mean, they beat us last year, but again, I'm not too worried about that game. I'm mainly worried about the big season, like the big picture of it.
So it sounds like deep playoff run for North. I'm predicting right here on Super Radio. Big Norman North deep playoff run.
I definitely like what I see on film. You got some guys returning too, so
Yes, sir.
you just know you lead the way, so they all follow you.
Yep, 100%.
And Nash, I also want to ask you this. But outside of your parents, 'cause I can tell you the biggest motivators. Who else motivates you that we haven't talked about today?
I mean, I've already talked to them, but my teammates motivate me every single day. I mean, just being able to go to work with them, just give me that edge to get better with them.
I like that. Nash, I'm gonna ask you this. It's gonna be my last question for you. How many yards you gonna throw this year?
Aiming to hit 4,000. Yes, sir.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, but it's attainable if you already lead 6A in passing yards, man.
Year. He almost got it easily last year, but that's a lot.
Yes, sir. I believe I can do it though.
I believe you can too. 3,200 yards last. That's a lot of yards.
Yeah, sophomore year too.
No, I know. And my guy out there in Washington, Cree Barrett, he threw for Oklahoma has some slingers. I feel like we don't get enough love with the quarterback play in Oklahoma, but the class of 2028 especially is deep in quarterback here in Oklahoma. So I give y'all credit. Y'all throwing that ball, and y'all representing well.
Yes, sir.
No, yeah. But Nash, I want to thank you for coming on Superb Radio. Jamin, you got anything else to say?
Man, I'm just ready to watch you go, man. That's it.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
No, yeah.
Yep.
Well, Oklahoma City with Nash Henry. I'm Miles Perry, Jamin Dawson. We're going to go to break. We'll be back. Man. Oklahoma City. Welcome back to Soup Prep Radio. I'm Miles Perry. I'm with Jamin Dawson. Shout out to Nash Henry. Great kid. Pro. Like well-spoken kid.
Yeah, professional in every sense, man. He could go as far as he wants to go. Like you said, same thing about Nate playing on Sundays. I could easily see it for Nash Henry.
No, easily. And he's a big kid.
Yes. You read 6'4", but it's different when you see 6'4". It's a totally different thing.
Yeah, he reminded me I'm short. Yeah, I stood up. I was like, dang, he's tall.
Yeah, I thought I was 6'2", but I'm inflating those numbers for sure.
You're 6'2". Your driver's license say 6'2"?
It ain't updated.
No, but it was some good people we had on today, Jamin, and I think Nate was great. Coach Bogert was great. Nash was great. Football season's here is what that means. It's all three football guys.
Yeah, it's in the air, man. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to see it every level.
I am too, but I'm also ready for some basketball to get back on TV. Well,
it's more basketball games, so I feel you for sure.
It is more basketball games, and it was just great talking about the things going on. I thought it was interesting. Everybody had something that related in their conversation. I didn't think Coach Bogert was going to talk about transfers and NIL like that, like he did.
It's the reality of this sport, though. So, I mean, if you don't get comfortable with it and find how you want to navigate with it, then you'll have problems with it for as long as it exists.
Well, OMC, we're going to take another quick break real quick. And we're going to come right back. We'll be right back. What's happening? Oklahoma City, welcome back to Super Radio. I'm Miles Perry. I'm with Jamin Dawes here at the Super Commands. And I have another announcement to make. Attention, coaches. If you're in the Oklahoma City area, listen carefully, please. Oklahoma City Public Schools is looking for coaches, hiring coaches for the sports soccer, esports, basketball, football, etc. at all schools. If you're looking to get into coaching and want an opportunity to coach, you should go check out Oklahoma City Public Schools Athletics Facebook and their website. And look at our Instagram and Facebook pages as well, because we are promoting that. And if you want to be in high school sports and be a coach and impact some kids, come on, sign up. Sign up. It's all sports, including esports. And so if you're a video game person, you want to coach some kids on how to be better on some Madden or EA Sports or 2K, you have the opportunity to do that with Oklahoma City Public Schools and the athletic department. But Jamin, let's get back to high school football real quick. Oklahoma City, we are about to announce the way too early OKC Sports Radio and Super Prep power rankings for Oklahoma high school football. Jamin, how you feel about the football season? I know we talked about this around the corner, excited. So these are the first rankings, way too early, preseason rankings, you guys. So don't get the panties in the twist.
Yeah, this list is just what we think is the best competition right now in the state. Of course, we haven't seen anything, but just based off of recent history, guys returning, this is just what we think.
And this is regardless of class. So this isn't going off of all 6A. This is whatever class and team you're in. And like we were talking about Coach Bogert earlier, a lot of these teams could probably play each other outside of classes. Like he said, they're going to go play Shiloh Christian, the 7A school in Arkansas. So, we'll see what happens. But I must read off this list for listeners. You can hear. If you're on the live stream watching, you can see the list. At number 1, we have Bigsby. At number 2, Broken Arrow. Number 3, Carl Albert. Number 4, Jenks. Number 5, Mustang. And number 6, Owasso. At 7, we have Jones. And at 8, we have Choctaw. And at 9, we have Lincoln Christian. At number 10, we have Tuttle. At number 11, we have Heritage Hall. And number 12, we have Washington. And then we have honorable mention too. Borderline teams as of right now: Millwood, Edmond Memorial, Bishop McGuinness, Elgin, Southeast, and Stillwater. That is your way too early OKC Sports Radio and Super Prep Oklahoma High School football power rankings. What do you think about that, Jamin?
I think it's fair. Everybody knows that Bigsby sits at the top of the hill. And then, of course, all the neighboring schools in Tulsa. We got 1, 2, 3. We got 3 Tulsa schools rounding out that top 5, but a couple more at the bottom. So just to see them there is rightfully so. We know Carl Albert is at the top of the hill in 5A too. Mustang with the 5-star Gabriel Osborne, and then Delgado transferring that quarterback. I think that would be good too. Brett Brady as well, guest on Super Prep Radio. So, yeah, I think that reflects what we'll actually see going over the course of the season. But honorable mention teams, we could see Millwood jump up with Coach Billingsley, see what they do. Edmond Memorial, they have some guys as well. So this is just something to keep track of over the course of the season.
And there's some teams, like this has changed, like we keep saying, this is going to change every week. Like we were talking Nash Henry, Norman North could be in there next week.
Easily.
Or, when the season starts, not next week, when the season starts. Because I think they're going to be a dark horse. So they loaded. I forgot about all those boys they had on Norman North. We're just talking about the Kohler brothers,
Yeah,
so
Aiden Williams too.
Yeah, yeah. But they just lost 2 4-stars, in McMorris and Mason James. So the college, but it's gonna be a good football season, and I'm interested to see how these standings change every week and what the committee votes on here at Super Prep. And no, it'll be interesting. Any games you looking forward to this year, Jamin, in high school?
Man, I want to see that Norman North Bigsby after just talking about that.
Oh, yeah.
want to see that for sure. Man, it's really a lot. Of course, we talked to Coach Bogert. I want to see what Heritage Hall can do. Of course, not having to play Lincoln Christian, but Lincoln Christian going down to 2A, see how they fare there. And probably Choctaw. They've had a lot of transfers come in, too. 6A2 is not an easy level to play at. They've been on the brink of getting that gold ball, but just hadn't brought it home yet. So, ready to see them, too.
No, I'm ready to see how this all shakes out. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I think Broken Arrow next week, shout out to Bryson Brown, Oklahoma State. He'll be on Super Radio next week with us. Broken Arrows really, they're scary. They got guys on that team. Same with, I'm talking about 6A1 right now, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking at a lot of 6A1 teams are on this list. They're spread out. Jenks is going to be really good. Owasso getting everybody in the high school transfer portal. So from Booker T, they all went to Owasso. I don't know what's going on over there. That's for another time, another day. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But like I said, next week, you guys, Bryson Brown, Broken Arrow 4-star defensive back, he'll be on the show. Also, Cash Worley, Kiefer, 3-star athlete, committed to Texas State, will be on next week. So will former Norman North standout Kevin Overton, and Auburn star guard, will be on next week. So we have a good show for you guys. High school football mixed with some college basketball, some SEC hoops. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm Miles Perry, Jamin Dawson. Shout out to Demetrius, our producer. Shout out to Bobby, our other producer. And we're out. We'll see you guys next week.